Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well, lads. So, what we're going to do is, I'm just going to put up these videos to kind of explain the pages which you've got to do in your SAFAR each day. I'll try and make them less than 10 minutes, so that's why I'm speaking a bit fast, because I know you guys have awful attention spans. And also, I'll try and split it into two parts, yeah, so it's more digestible for you guys. So today, it's going to be from page 37 in your SAFAR book to page 41, I believe, yeah? So, in this one, this is part one, I'll do from page 37 to 39, okay? So it'll be less than 10 minutes, so just watch to the end, yeah? Or keep your SAFAR book open and watch it as you're going along. So the first bit which I'll talk about is the truthfulness, okay, of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this chapter, which I know we didn't do in detail, so hopefully inshallah you get a better idea of it now, is all about like why we believe in Allah and why we have the beliefs that we do. Okay, so what this is saying is that the reason why we believe in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is because he was so truthful, yeah, and he was never heard, yeah, to ever utter a lie. That there's just no way that when he came with the Quran that it was a lie, because he was just so truthful all the time. So if you look on page 37 in the top right, it gives you an example, right? So for example, when Abu Sufyan, radiyallahu anh, yeah, when he wasn't a Muslim, he used to travel, yeah, Abu Sufyan, because he was like a businessman and he used to sell stuff. So he went one time to Damascus in Syria, and at the time when he was there, the Prophet ﷺ sent a letter to the Byzantine emperor. So there was the Byzantine or Roman emperor, you'll know. Roman emperor, right? The Prophet ﷺ sent a letter to this guy, yeah, inviting him to Islam, and Abu Sufyan was there at the time. And so what happened is, this Byzantine emperor, who was called Heraclius, yeah, Heraclius, he met Abu Sufyan, yeah, because they were both there. So he has a meeting with Abu Sufyan. And basically, even though Abu Sufyan, radiallahu anhu, wasn't a Muslim, he basically gave a glowing report of the Prophet ﷺ by saying that, you know, this guy's actually quite truthful and, you know, we've never heard him to lie, even though Abu Sufyan wasn't a Muslim at the time, yeah? And that's narrated in Sahih al-Bukhari, so it's an authentic hadith, yeah? So that's just basically what the truthfulness of the Prophet is, where it's like, because the Prophet ﷺ was truthful, I'll write it as like equation. So the Prophet ﷺ was truthful. Now, before I write it down, we should all know what the Arabic word for it is. Yeah? So 3, 2, 1. It's Al-Amin, yeah? So the Prophet ﷺ was known as Al-Amin, which means the truthful. Now, if we... So we know the Prophet ﷺ is truthful and is known as Al-Amin. And so because of this, yeah, so therefore, any of you who do maths, you'll know that means therefore, because mathematicians can't be bothered writing stuff. So therefore, the Quran came from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and because it came from him, therefore, the Quran is true. Yeah, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was never known to lie. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, then obviously just put questions in the group and just say, look, I didn't understand that bit. Okay? Right. Then we talk about the hadith. After that, it talks about the hadith, basically, yeah? So I've explained this. We actually did a whole lesson on it, but I'll just go through it in a bit less detail now. Basically, what this is trying to say is, you know how we get this, you know, we talk about Islam or the Sharia. Well, let me put Sharia, which means Islamic law, yeah? We should all know that Sharia means Islamic. Brilliant. Spelling for me that. Islamic law. So we know the Sharia comes from two things, yeah? Quran and Sunnah. But then let me change the colours here, make it more nice and beautiful. So when we look at the Sunnah, Where does the sunnah come from? It mainly comes from the hadith. Actually, it just comes from the hadith. Yeah, that's how we know the sunnah. So it comes from hadith. Now, what it's trying to say is people who are critical of Islam, yeah, who want to try and put Islam down, would try and say that, oh, you know, your hadith, yeah, they're written down by people, yeah. So, for example, when we talk about Imam Bukhari, rahimahullah, Imam Muslim, Imam Tirmidhi, that all these people, they came after the Prophet, so how on earth do you know if what they even wrote was true? So that's why this one is talking about, yeah, that little section. So it's like, that's on the bottom of page 37 to around the end of page 38. It's talking about how the early Muslims, Imam Bukhari and all these people, they worked so hard, yeah, to make sure that they got everything right. So I'll just summarize it here. So the hadith, yeah, so it was carefully put together, yeah. Okay, and the way how it worked, just in case anyone doesn't know, so how it worked was you'd have a chain, so works through chains. So for example, let me give you an example, yeah. Let's imagine you have Imam Bukhari here at the bottom, yeah. So what he did is he used to travel the world and he used to see, okay, let me see who I can find, yeah, who knows hadith. So he goes to a teacher. Let's imagine this guy's called Anas, not Anas. Let's call him Hamza, yeah. So Imam Bukhari goes to someone called Hamza and says, "Can you teach me a hadith?" And he says, "Yeah." And he teaches him the hadith that cleanliness is half of faith. But then Imam Bukhari has to say, "Hamza, yeah, where did you hear it from?" And let's imagine this guy's a Tabi'i, yeah. So Tabi'i means someone who's seen the Sahaba. He says, "I heard it from Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala an." Yeah. Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu an. And then, obviously, Hamza said that Umar bin Khattab told me he heard it from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, obviously, in this chain, the Prophet ﷺ is fine. Yeah, if Imam Bukhari is writing it down, then obviously he's okay to accepting the chain. So obviously, because the Prophet ﷺ, yeah, he's obviously infallible. Remember, we just talked about he's the truthful. So why would the Prophet ever lie? Yeah, he can't. So then we just have to make sure that is Umar bin Khattab and Hamza okay? Well, Umar bin Khattab is such a famous Sahaba. Let's use some green here for greenies. Yeah, he's fine. The only thing now is Hamza, yeah, because this guy is in a Sahaba and no one really knows much about him. So Imam Bukhari would then go around and he would ask about him. Okay, so we're doing this in green. He would ask about him. And so what he would do is, Imam Bukhari, he'd go around and he'd ask people that other people around the time, he'd say, is that his real name? Yeah. No, for real, he would actually do this. It sounds silly, but he'd have to do this to make sure that these people aren't lying. That his name, what's his lineage. So, for example, like, is he actually a guy who, you know, is known for being educated and stuff like that? It wouldn't be the be-all and end-all, but it would just be things which would obviously point Imam Bukhari in the right direction. He asked about his character. He said, has he got good character, this Hamza? Has he got a good memory? Yeah? Is he intelligent? Yeah, and if all of those were satisfied, he would then say, okay, this chain for the hadith, yeah, is absolutely fine. Yeah? What on earth has happened here? There we are. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not savvy with technology, lads. You'll have to give me... Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is how you do it. Yeah? Oh, my word. Right, hope that makes sense. Okay? All you have to know is the hadith are so meticulously well put, yeah, that because of this, yeah, we have the Prophet ﷺ sunnah so well put together. If there was a problem, okay, if there was a problem in any of these, why does it keep doing? If there was a problem in any of these, yeah, so for example, if there was a problem here, Or let's imagine the Sahaba, there was maybe a bit problem with the Sahaba. So for example, some Sahabas, when we learnt about the Khawarij, yeah, were people who broke away from Hazrat Ali, yeah, and rebelled against the Khilafat, yeah. If there was an issue, yeah, then Imam Bukhari would not accept the hadith. Even though the hadith might say, be good towards another Muslim. If there is an issue, then Imam Bukhari would reject the hadith. If they look, the hadith might have been said, but I cannot guarantee that this hadith is true, because the people in the chain, yeah, the people in the chain are problematic. Yeah? Hope that makes sense. Right, I know it is 10 minutes, but I'm just going to do the last bit, yeah? So it shouldn't be more than 15 minutes, this. So let's go with blue now, yeah? So the last bit is on page 38 to 39, where it talks about events, yeah? So it's talking about prophecies, yeah? So prophecies are things which are predicted, yeah? So predictions by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, all you need to learn here is, let's make it quick, yeah? Number one, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam predicted that the Muslims would conquer Jerusalem, which they did in Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu anhu's time. Okay? And number two, that there would be a plague. Now, obviously, the irony of that is absolutely brilliant in today's, because of the coronavirus, yeah? And everyone's talking about when there was a plague which happened in the Sahaba's time. So, one second. So, there would be a plague. And this happened in around 18 AH, yeah? So, this was during Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu anhu's Khilafat, yeah? So, this is happening. So this was Umar bin Khattab's, Umar radiyallahu anhu's Khilafat, Caliphate. Yeah, if you want to sound like a Western person. Okay, so that happened. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to go into the irony or make jokes about coronavirus, because I think we've all heard enough anyway. So that's all it is from page 37 to 38. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. Any questions? Let me know. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I'll put part 2 up later. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, lads. Let's carry on from where we left off. Hopefully, inshallah, this part will be shorter than the last, because we've not got that much to do. So, starting off on page 39. Now, we're talking about the Quran now, yeah? So remember, this part is all about proofs for Allah. Yeah? So we talked about one of the proofs of Allah is that He sent a messenger who was truthful, and we talked about the Prophet ﷺ's hadith and about how his sunnah has been preserved through that. And then we also talked about how the Prophet ﷺ was also true from his prophecies and predictions. Now we're going to move on to the Quran, yeah? So the Quran shows many ways how Allah is true. The first one is that, think about the time where the Prophet ﷺ revealed the Quran, yeah? The Quran was the best linguistic book ever in Arabic. Linguistic just means language, yeah? So this just means language. So basically, when the Quran came down, it was the best kind of Arabic which ever came. And we all know about how poetry was a massive thing in the times of the Arabs. And so when the Quran came down, no non-Muslim Arab who looked at it could actually beat it. And Muslim, for that matter, as well. No one could beat it. And they were shocked by it. Yeah? So this is one of the proofs. It's like when Shakespeare... It's bad to use an analogy because obviously no one matches Allah in terms of their abilities. But you know how when Shakespeare came along, if you studied him, he revolutionised the English language in a better way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the best kind of Arabic, which everyone else's mind was just blown by it. Yeah, even the enemies of Islam admitted, yeah, we don't accept it, but we can tell that this is better than anything we've ever seen. A second way as well is, and this is really important, right, is people can pray the Quran. So they can pray Quran without knowing Arabic. What we mean is for you guys are kind of the way to show this. When you guys pray the Quran, Yeah. So, for example, if you were to open up 4th Sibara, yeah, and then pray from لن تنالوا البر حتى ينفقوا مما تحبون, you guys wouldn't know what that means. But there's still nothing wrong with that, because Allah SWT says, I still give you the reward for it. And that's a miracle in itself. Which other language do we know where you can do this? Do you know what I mean? There is no other language in the world where, unless you don't understand its meaning, you can't really pray it. And that's just the beauty of the Quran. Yeah? It's a linguistic miracle, as we call it. Okay. Another way is that the Quran is still found in its original language. Still found in classical Arabic, yeah? So, with the Bible, yeah? The Bible, I think people say that the Bible originally came down in Aramaic. I'll write this down, actually, because it's in here. So they say, I'll put this in red. So Bible actually came in Aramaic, I think, first. And I think also with the Torah, I'm not sure if Hebrew is actually the original language. I think it is another. I think Torah is Aramaic, but I'm not really sure about that, so I won't write it. But with the Zabur, again, no one knows. Yeah. With the Psalms, yeah, no one really knows what the original language of it is, but the Quran does. So that's another linguistic miracle. Then, if we move on, the last one is that it's unchanged. Yeah. So you can look through Christianity and you look at things like the Council of Nicaea in 235 or something AD, and then you had the other councils which came along of Constantinople, I think, or something like that. So basically, the Bible was changed, yeah, whereas the Quran isn't. Okay, hope that makes sense. Then the last bit I'm going to talk about is from bottom of page 39 to top of page 40. It's the last bit. Is when we talk about the completeness of Islam. So let me do it in green. So completeness of Islam. Okay, so what it is this is very simple, so I won't take too long on this. Basically what it's saying is all other religions aren't as complete as Islam. Basically meaning that Islam teaches you about all of life. Yeah? No religion does this. So for example, Islam teaches you about cleanliness, yeah? Cleanliness. The Bible doesn't, yeah? The Torah doesn't, yeah? These other religions don't teach you how to clean yourself. The Islam also teaches you about, how to act towards parents. Yeah, specifically it does. It gives, that's maybe a bad example, but then you have things like inheritance. Yeah, no religion talks about inheritance in such detail. As well as that, you have things of exactly how to pray. Yeah, Islam tells you absolutely every single thing, and also at the end, how to do a funeral, so a janazah. Yeah, no other religion is able to do this. No other religion, if you guys have time to study it, and I mean you should do, because when you go to school, you should ask them and say, well, sir, miss, Islam tells me about cleanliness, about how to clean ourselves. Does Christianity say it? Or does Christianity say it? Does Judaism say about it? Does Hinduism, Sikhism talk about these different things? So it's really, really important that we ask ourselves these questions. And when we realise how complete Islam is, yeah, we realise that really it's just, just the perfect fit for this life. Also, as well as this, forget talking about religions, but also, so other religions are limited. Yeah, so other religions are limited, as I just explained, in that they don't tell you about all of life. But then you also have philosophies as well. So, for example, if you guys remember, when we did, sorry, my phone is just buzzing away. When we did stuff about liberalism, yeah, utilitarianism, when we did about, shut up, Pam. when we did about utilitarianism, when we did about Immanuel Kant, everyone's favourite philosopher, yeah? These things are all limited. They just told you about certain aspects of life. They didn't tell you everything, okay? So I hope that makes sense, yeah? That's all the way from page 37 to 41. I'm not going to go through that big page of teaching of Islam in different areas of life. Just have a read of it, lads. Yeah? It's like really so simple. It just says that Islam teaches you about like the environment and how to do trade and stuff like that. So I don't think for today I set you any homework in terms of pages to do. No, I didn't. Yeah, but please, please, lads, make sure you also pray your du'as. Yeah, pray it to someone. Yeah, everyone who I'm talking to, and all of you are saying that you're bored. Yeah, so you have no excuse. If you want, what you can do is you can pray it and send it to me if you want, and I'm more than happy to listen to it. Yeah, record yourself on WhatsApp and just send it to me. Yeah, I'm more than happy to listen to it. Yeah, so make use of your holidays. Yeah, and yeah, all right. Assalamu alaikum.